Hey friends, welcome back to another episode of the $5 Thrift Challenge where I took a $5 bill, a single $5 bill, and I took it to the thrift store and we've been constantly thrifting items, reselling items, snowballing this money until we get to our goal of $10,000. So we're well on our way there right now. And I might be confusing some of you where I am. Right now I'm at my parents' house in the Fort Wayne area. We just sold our house in Westfield, Indiana, and we are buying a house in the Detroit area, but we don't close until December. So currently we are living at both of our different parents' houses, and I'm driving back and forth because I'm shipping packages out of this house where my parents live. So it's a little bit confusing right now, but that's what you have to do when you have a business and you want to keep running it while you're still in the process of moving. So moving with a business, never fun, but we've still got to do it, right? Okay, so let's do a little update. When we ended the last episode, we had $338.29 in the challenge bank. And I'm happy to report that we have much more than that now, so that's awesome. Let's talk about the things that sold since the last episode. So the first thing that sold was this pair of Frida Salvador slides. This pair of slides cost about $5. They sold for $30. We make $26.89 heading back into the challenge bank. The next thing that sold was another pair of shoes. These Birdie's Swan Flat Spice shoes sold for $35. We make $28 from that on Poshmark. So $28 heading into the challenge bank. Also, all of these cost of goods we already took out of the challenge bank, so we don't need to refactor them in, thankfully. The next thing that sold was the Zarina pair of Draper pants in white, and these sold for $42. So we made $33.60 heading back into the challenge bank. Then we also sold the Somersault cashmere hoodie from that time where I found the Ola Johnson and the Zarina and all of those amazing brands. That sold for $45. We make $36 from that sale heading to the bank. Then the Anthro 11Z's silk pants, those are so cute. Same trip as the Somersault piece. These sold for $27 and we make $25.59. And if any of you guys are curious, all of these pieces are listed on all three of my main selling platforms, Poshmark, eBay, and Depop. And then they sell on whatever platform they just sold first on. The next thing that sold was the Sorel Joan of Arctic wedges. These sold for $45 and we make $42.68 because they sold on Depop. So I get to retain a lot more of my profits on there. And then just from the last episode, we sold this Willow and Wind bow cardigan, which I figured out was actually from Altered State. And it sold for exactly how much I thought it would, $25. We make $22.90 from that. And then the other piece that, again, had no really name brand, but it was a really good style, the granny square vest, the crochet piece, that also sold for $25. So we make $23.30 from that piece, and both of those sold on eBay the first day I had them listed. And I know there's a lot of sales here, but that's a good thing. We are trying to sell a lot, right? So then we have a bundle. Somebody bought two pieces from the $5 Thrift Challenge. The first was the J. Crew 100% cashmere sweater, and this was in a size small. It sold for $50. And the new tags, the Aran wool, the sheep teddy bear that I found, so cute, sold for $34.99. So together that was $84.98, and our net from that was $82.43 heading into the challenge bank. But we still have 3 more pieces that sold from the $5 Thrift Challenge. So are you keeping up so far? We've got quite a bit of profit heading into the bank. The next 3 items, the Abercrombie cardigan that I picked up sold for $30. So we make $24 from that heading to the bank. And then both pairs of the Vuori pants sold. So we had the one camouflage pair of pants and the one that was like a salmon pink color. They both sold for $30 each. So $24 from each of those heading into the challenge bank, giving us a grand total, a running total on our challenge bank of $731.68. That is exciting. I was predicting that we'd have $500 heading into the next episode. We're at $700 already. We're almost a tenth of the way there to our goal of $10,000. But you guys know the drill. We're heading to a thrift store today. This is Fort Wayne, so this is different from where I normally go thrifting. We're gonna explore and try out some thrift stores here together, but we're gonna go see if we can find some stuff to add to the bank. So I'm taking you guys with me. Let's head now to the thrift store. Okay, we made it to stop number 1. Hopefully the only stop of the day, but we'll see. I am in Hicksville, Ohio. This is a small town in the middle of Ohio. I drove across the border. It's only like 20 or so minutes from where my parents live. And we're heading to the Bargain Box today. It has been quite some time since I've been to the Bargain Box, but they have amazing prices here. And I have found some really good things here in the past. The Bargain Box has like, I think everything is like $1.25. It's something crazy. Like the prices are insane here. And then also I think on Saturdays they sometimes do like fill-a-bag sales. I'm probably not going to be finding anything designer here today, but I have found amazing vintage pieces here. So I'm looking for some vintage gold today. So before I found a couple pairs of vintage Doc Martens here, I found vintage Coach bags here, and I found some really cool like vintage Nike pieces. So we're gonna look, see what we can find, and maybe, who knows, I might be surprised. Maybe I'll find something that is more modern too, but I think it'll be fun. And then if we don't find things here, we'll go to another thrift store. But let's head in and check out this kind of small, hole in the wall kind of thrift store. I think it's gonna be fun. So I like to look through the home goods too while I'm here because they have so many cool vintage pieces. Things are so reasonably priced. Like this is $2. Gorgeous. Really pretty. I went through all the purses over there and I didn't find anything yet really. I have one little fossil bag in my basket, but there's a lot of people in here, so I'm trying to be, you know, on the DL. This is really cute. Look at this. Look at the, what, doves on it? Oh my goodness. It's beautiful. Even this tea kettle is so cute. Little teacups. Some leather coasters. Candlestick holder. Maybe a little candy dish for $1. This is a really cute little Christmas glass for 25 cents. So all shoes are $2 and they have a small selection, but I did find these. So I grabbed this pair of little, I don't know if you can tell, they have a little metallic on the back here, but it's a pair of Sorels, which I think these are a kid's pair. And I also saw these pair of Clarks, but they're only $2. I do like that they are silver, metallic, and they're kind of cute. So I'm gonna put those in the basket, but there are a lot of people in here, so I am going to keep on looking. But those are the only two things really I've found so far. There's one little fossil bag in the bottom that is real leather, so we'll see if I like that or not. So I just took a peek in here at the books, but oh my goodness, is this not the cutest little thing? Victorian Pets, it's paper dolls. So on each page, there's a different animal that you can cut out, and then there's paper doll clothes for each one. And it's so freaking darling. This is so sweet. I think I have to grab it. I don't even know what books are. I'm sure there's no way they're expensive. Everything here is so reasonably priced. I mean, hardback books are 50 cents for an adult hardback book. So I'm assuming we're looking at like maybe 25 cents. It's so cool. It's from 1986. I'm obsessed. Oh my gosh. I didn't even see this shelf. That shelf is amazing. What? I might need that. What, 20 bucks? Is it real wood? It looks like it. Oh my gosh. How cool. Oh my gosh. Do I need it? Maybe. I kind of love it. Okay. Yeah, let me reconvene. This is a crazy moment. So I'm in this little room with all the books and movies and things. But I just saw this book up here, and I literally know this author. I grew up with her. She's a year younger than me. Our sisters went to college together, and we're roommates. I'm gonna have to grab that. Shut up. What a small world. So I just started looking in the clothing section, and this little sweater is so cute. This chunky neck, cream vintage sweater. And this is what I'm talking about with the prices. This is $1.50. Most things here, what in the world, are pretty reasonable, like $1.25. So I think I'm gonna end up grabbing this one. It's from the brand Woods Run, size large. Really cute. I think that's a grab. Okay, so I made it into the fitting room, and oh my gosh, I have never been so embarrassed to film anywhere a day in my life. Not that filming in public isn't always embarrassing, but this is like next tier. I did find this amazing green trench coat. It's in leather, so it's a leather long jacket. It's missing a button right here in the front, which is really upsetting because this is so cool. I'm thinking I might still grab it because I could always move this button up to be right here because it's a size large. It's from Jacqueline Ferrer. The crazy thing about pricing here is I was like, oh, this is expensive. It's $5. So, I mean, for $5, I feel like it's unbeatable, right? The lighting in here is harsh. I'm so sorry, but I do think I'm gonna grab that for $5. I have sold a Jacqueline Ferrer jacket that's leather, similar to this, for I would say like $75, sometimes more. So I think that's a definite grab. This coat is also nice. This is from Eddie Bauer. It's a size large and it's 80% wool for the exterior. I'm gonna check it over for any holes or anything, but it looks really nice. And I literally this morning sold an Eddie Bauer puffer coat for $72. So I think this is probably worth it for $3. It's a really nice jacket. At the very least, I know my mom runs a food bank and she's looking for coats. So I was thinking about grabbing this for myself. It's just a little cardigan. I thought it was cute, so that won't be a part of the challenge. But I did show you guys this already. This really cool like cream knit sweater, vintage thing. It's so cool. And this is $1.50. Then I found this amazing vintage like Christmas time sweatshirt. I'm obsessed with it. It says "Snow Many Friends," and it's in a size large. And oh, it has a hole in the front. Dang it. That's so cute. It's $1.50. I'm sure they don't know about that hole though. Well, I'm not gonna end up getting that. And the last thing, oh no, two things. I also found this really cool 55th annual. It's $19.95. This Black Hills Motor Classic for rally and races in the Black Hills of South Dakota. I thought that was really cool. Definitely vintage. The graphic's in pretty good shape for it being from 1995, which is literally 30 years ago because I was born in 1995. And this is also $1.50. So I think I'm gonna get that. And then I did just find this Talbot's little kind of like blazer jacket. Size large, says pure merino wool on it. It's $1.50 again. So I'm excited about that. Let's see, yeah, 100% merino wool. I'm definitely gonna grab the Talbot's piece. I'm gonna put back this piece because of the hole in the front. Unless, do you think I could crop it? I don't think it's worth cropping. It's so cute though. And then I'm gonna get all of those pieces too. So only one, no. Oh, but it's so darling. Heart's my little Christmassy heart. But that's okay. So those are the things I found so far in the clothing section. Okay, so I just finished up in there. And like I was kind of saying, the literally most embarrassing, it's just a small store. Love it. Don't get me wrong, small store. Nothing wrong with it at all, other than the fact that I am incredibly embarrassed to film in public. So I tried to get footage for you guys and I hope I got enough. There were so many people in there. It's such a small store and I was so embarrassed. And like most of these women in there, like the ladies checking us out, I think they were Mennonite. They might've been Amish. I'm pretty sure they're Mennonite. I also saw a Mennonite girl in there shopping who was my sister's best friend in elementary school because I grew up in like the middle of Amish country. It's very much so like country, Amish country. Very interesting time. And I went up to the checkout and I had a huge pile of stuff because I ended up finding a good amount. And you can see the shelf that I bought, also our sweeper, because you know, in the middle of a move, we got tons of stuff in my car. But I had tons of stuff at checkout. And then does anybody else get checkout anxiety? I get checkout anxiety strong. I'm watching them add up my stuff and I was like, oh my gosh. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be so much money. I'm so overwhelmed, I'm so scared. But I forgot about the bargain box. I spent $28. They said $28 and I was like, okay, never mind, we're okay. So I think it was $28.72. I have the receipt, so we'll double check later. But I got 2 giant trash bags full of stuff. And I also found some really cool vintage pieces. And then I also got that shelf for myself. I forgot to check out with it at first though. So I went back and checked out a second time. It was 20 bucks. What a steal of a deal, am I right? So those are all the things. We've got lots of stuff now. I'm excited to go through and see what all I grabbed because it was a little bit like a fever dream. They're only open for 3 hours. They're open from 9 to noon. It's what, Thursday while I'm here? So yeah, I did what I could with what I could do. But yeah, definitely a little bit of a fast shopping trip. Lots of people, lots of children. It was a lot. But hopefully you guys enjoyed coming in there with me. Yeah, let's go home now. I'm gonna show you guys everything I found when we get there. Okay, friends, we're back at my parents' house and we are in my childhood bedroom. Didn't look like this when I was in high school. It was neon green sponge paint because that was a classy move for the time. And like I said, I think I said $28.72, something like that. But a few of the things were also for myself. So I'm excluding, I spent $1 on this amazing crock. So cool. I love this look and this would be so cute in a kitchen with utensils sticking out of it. This was $1. Absolutely insane. If you guys could not tell, the prices at this place were crazy. And they also often have a like half off sale going. And then also today, if you found any, I think it was like blue tag. I think it was blue tags were free. So if you found a blue tag, it was just free today, which I thought was crazy. And the other things I think I'm gonna keep for myself would be this book that was written by a friend of mine, which is exciting. And this was 25 cents. And then because this was a kid's book, they charged me 15 cents for this. This is amazing. I think this is so cool. I was picking it up initially to resell, but I don't think it's gonna resell for more than like maybe $5 to $10. So I think I'm just gonna keep this for myself. So let's subtract the $1. And I also bought that one cardigan for myself and then got home and saw a big hole on the front of it. So wasted $1.50, but could be so much worse. So at $2.50, let's just round $3 is what I spent on myself. So let's put that back into the challenge bank because I did not spend that for the challenge. And then let's talk about the shoes that I found. There weren't a ton of shoe options there, but I was excited to find a pair of Sorels. These ones are a girl Sorel with these kind of metallic stars going on. And these are real leather. They have, it says that they're waterproof on these as well. And these look to be in really good condition as well. The bottoms look impeccable. These are in a USA size 4 or a European 35. So right on the cusp of being a women's size, but girls size. And I saw a few of these listed for around 40 bucks. Even if I list those and then make 25, 30 bucks off of that, I believe that shoes were $2. But the pricing was so insanely reasonable that I could be wrong. I think the kids' shoes might have even been cheaper. Maybe they were 50 cents. Absolutely insane. The only other pair of shoes I got were these silver little pumps. These are Clarks, which I pass on Clarks all the time. But if I were to find a pair that is like a desirable style like these in the Goodwill outlet or for a very cheap amount, I would pick them up. These have like a little rounded almond toe. I think they're cute. They're in a size 8.5. And I thought that these were actually quite nice, especially heading into the holiday season. For $2, I grabbed those, and I think that I can probably resell these for around $35 is my guess. And then you guys saw, I did find some vintage pieces. I knew going into it that I was looking for vintage, and I did find a few items. This chunky sweater, I feel like is so popular right now. This styling with like a little collared shirt poking out from beneath it would be very cute. And like I'm saying, guys, these prices, this was $1.50, which is, extremely reasonable. And so $1.50, this is like bins pricing, except they're on racks. And then it's in a size large, and it's made of acrylic Woods Run. So when I list this, I'm going to list everything you see on Poshmark, eBay, Depop. I'm gonna cross list to all of them. I use Vendu to do that. But I expect that this will probably sell on either Depop or eBay. That's just my inkling. Like I'm probably gonna list that for around $35. And then it should hopefully sell pretty quickly. Oh, can you see Gracie in here? She's here with me. Then the other vintage sweatshirt I got, I thought this was a really cool one. It definitely has that kind of vintage fit to it. This black sweatshirt with blue details on the front here. So 55th in 1995. So this has been around for a long time. I thought that was really cool. There's nothing on the back. It's definitely a vintage sweatshirt. And this is in a size extra large. I'm assuming it's more like a large now at this point, at least on the bottom hem. And it was also $1.50. So if that was in the bins or the Goodwill outlet, I would grab that too, probably to resell. So I thought that was worth a grab. And then I really was focusing a lot on outerwear. I didn't find a lot in the purses or shoes. And so I knew I went in to get, a bang for my buck if I was going to pick up clothing. And I found a lot of good outerwear. So this first piece is this nice kind of red wool coat. And this is from Eddie Bauer. And I think I mentioned earlier in the video that I just sold an Eddie Bauer coat this morning for $72. And so I know Eddie Bauer can do well. I'm not always picking it up. It just depends on the price, but this is a size large, a women's large, and it's 80% wool, 20% nylon. And so I thought that was really nice. And in, a crazy turn of events, I probably should make sure there's no holes in this, but this was $3. So $3 for a wool coat, I did feel like was a steal of a deal. And I think I could probably list this for around $50. The fabric makeup also really matters in that. If that was just cotton, I might not have even grabbed it, even for $3, because it wouldn't sell for as much. But because I had the wool in it, it was definitely more worth it. And then we have two Talbot's pieces. And I know I showed you guys one of them. I forget which one I showed you, but later on I ended up finding another one as I was about to check out. So I think this is the one you've seen. It's this green kind of blazer cardigan. It's a really nice thick knit, and this is the style from Talbot's that usually does really well for me, like a jacket that's like a little thicker, a sweater cardigan, a sweater blazer. And this one, it says too on here, it's from Talbot's, and then it is pure merino wool, so women's size large, real wool. I'm going to use my lint roller on these for sure, but I think, again, I have sold quite a few of these for right around 50 bucks. So that was a really good grab. And I think that they marked these just as like sweaters. So this was $1.50, which is crazy. And this is the other thing. If you guys go to the bargain box, they do not take card. You have to have cash. And luckily I have cash with me. I had it with me today, but just so you're aware, if you need to go, you need cash. Then we have this one I found. It's a little bit more of a cropped style. I thought this was really darling though, and I love the color. It's a beautiful purple, really cool details. And this one is also pure merino wool. And this one's in a size extra large. But both of those I think should resell for right around 50 bucks. And that's probably where I'm going to list. And this was also $1.50. And then I did buy one bag. I forgot I put it in the bag. And so I don't know if I would have actually grabbed this if I had more, time to really speculate on it. But it's this really cute style. I like that it has the woven braided handle. And then I did look on the inside, and I don't know if this was a good pickup, but this is from Relic. It was $2. This is what the tag looks like. And this one, I would not necessarily recommend buying this to resell. I think it's a cute style. I like the black and the gold, but I think this might have been a womp womp because I assume this is not gonna resell for very much money, if anything. So this might just be a redonate, womp womp. The other sweater is going to be the one that had a hole in it. I'm gonna have to get rid of as well. So this $2 probably wasn't worth spending, but I wanted to show you guys that too because I make mistakes all the time where I pick up things. This place I can't go back and get a refund. I'm not going to try, So that's just kind of like accounted as a loss in my book. And then I thought this was really cool. This is like one of those vintage handmade things that really makes me happy. This cool little cardigan sweater, and it is Noah's Ark themed. Tell me that is not the cutest thing you've ever seen. I don't know if somebody hand did this or if it was actually from the brand, but it's like all of these little animals hand stitched on. We've got Noah on the back. We've got all these different animals, and I just thought this was absolutely precious. This is from Jersey, is made in the USA, size extra large. I would say it fits more like a medium at this point, but is that not so cool? That kind of thing I will list in my store for like 35 to 50 bucks. It's really cool actually. And this cost me $1.50 again. So feeling really good about my cost of goods today, guys. And then we're into the two largest items I grabbed. They're gonna be a little bit difficult to show, but this one is this really nice wool long coat. It's this gorgeous like tweed wool fabric on here along with this, I believe it's a faux fur collar. I could double check, but this is from London Fog. And I don't always pick up London Fog. Again, cautionary tale, you can't just pick up everything willy-nilly. But this is a substantial piece, and I believe it's made with real wool. And this was what, I think it was like $3 or something ridiculous. It was literally $2. It says it's a size 44, so I don't know where they found that. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of looking around, either in the pockets, in the inside. There's a lot of places it could be hiding. Yep, 100% pure wool, 44 regulars on the inside. It's a really cool piece. So again, like this is very different. These are sort of very different items from what I've picked up so far in the challenge, but I wanted to show you guys too that you can find things that you can resell anywhere you go. I was in the middle of nowhere today. I was in Hicksville, Ohio, and I still was able to come home with 2 huge trash bags full of coats and beautiful vintage pieces that I can resell. So even if you can't find like the brand new designer items, you can still find things that resell for good money. Like this coat, this is really nice. This is really cool. It's in a size large, and I'm feeling like it's probably a women's size large based off of how it's fitting me, but it's a really cool green leather piece. And this was only what, $5 for real leather? That's an insane deal. And so for sure, this was a great grab, and I can tell that somebody's going to snag this. Like for fall and winter right now, trench coats are so in, and a leather trench coat, that's an amazing find. And then I almost forgot, but the last piece I grabbed is actually this little nativity scene. I thought this was so darling. And I love kind of how the sculpture has this like flower included. It looks like everything's intact on it. It was $2. And I looked on the bottom and I could tell that this was nicely made, but I looked this up. I did a reverse image search, and it looks like this is called a Capo di Monte nativity scene. And a lot of them are listed $20 to $50 and some of them even more. And I paid $2 for this. So I thought, especially with it being Christmas time, Christmas season, this is gonna be a cute pickup and somebody's gonna love this for their home. It doesn't look like anything's broken off. So I think that that was probably a good grab. They had a lot of Christmas items out and I was very tempted to buy lots of things. But again, I'm living out of a suitcase right now. So it seems like a bad idea to grab a lot. And I did buy that shelf for our new house. The shelf that I showed you guys that I found when I was in the books area of the thrift store. It was incredible. It's solid wood. It was hefty. It was very heavy and it was 20 bucks. And I was like, somebody made this. You could tell from how it was constructed that somebody like took time and like they put that together and they stained it themselves. Like it was really cool. So I was happy to grab that for 20 bucks. Like heck yes. So yeah, all of that stuff, I don't know how all of that added up to $28. But taking my $3 off of what I paid, I'll go back and look at how much I actually paid. And so I'll have here on the screen for you guys what the ending of our challenge bank is. I mean, we should probably still be in the 700s is my guess. And so we're doing great. And this just means that I get to go thrifting more often for the $5 thrift challenge. If you guys are enjoying this challenge, then make sure you hit subscribe so that way you guys can follow along. And also you should follow me on Instagram if you want to follow along a little bit more with my life and also the behind the scenes of when I'm going thrifting, finding all these pieces. And you can find all of my information for all my stores. All of this stuff is in the description box down below. But yeah, make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss any more episodes. We're gonna head for that $10,000 super soon. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this episode and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.